Hey everyone, it's Ryan here, and today we are probably playing one of the most anticipated games of 2011, and that game is Dead Space 2. This is the demo of the game, which is just released on the Xbox Live Marketplace, as well as the PlayStation Network, and is about 1.3 gigabytes of awesome. I'll be giving you my first thoughts and feelings, and just some little facts. Alright, so unlike Dead Space 1 demo, which took something like a minute to complete, maybe less, the demo for Dead Space 2 is quite hefty and probably going to take about 50 minutes to finish. The reason why this video ain't the full 15 minutes or so is because I cut the opening cinematic out there. Because I pretty much know the story of Dead Space 1. It's basically just a recap to put people on their feet who forgot about the story. And for newcomers to the series, it's quite long. It's like 4 minutes, but it's pretty awesome. And I highly suggest you watch it if you haven't played Dead Space before and want to care for the story. And you really should, because Dead Space 2 is probably got one of the better video game stories out there. I won't go really deep into it, but anyone out there who's interested, it's basically about a guy an engineer called Isaac Clarke, and he gets into a lot of shit when he tries to find out about this space station and its crew. And there's loads of different plot lines, like he's got some kind of relationship, and there's this virus going on, which brings about all the enemies, which are called the necromorphs, and it's a pretty good story, to be honest. It ain't too cliche. All right, so can't talk today. As far as the gameplay goes, Dead Space 2 is a lot like Dead Space 1. No question, but it's more refined and improved, and I know this sounds really silly, but I'm so glad the stomp was improved. I felt that it was really slow and bulky, which suited it. I'm not gonna lie, because Isaac was in a pretty heavy suit, but now it's fast and ferocious, and I keep saying but when you stomp on necromorphs, you get more items, and which is very, very helpful. You get health packs and ammo and stuff like that. What's great about this, when stomping on the enemies, is that I'm not stomping on the same necromorph. I'm stomping on a variety of different enemies. In Dead Space 1, you kind of got 5 different enemy types, but now you get some kind of weird baby-like enemy with massive claws, and you get this crab thing, and it's awesome destroying them and see their body parts fly. And that's what I like about Dead Space. All the body parts flying about in gravity or out of gravity, and it's just a fantastic display of blood, guts, and no, quite disgusting now I think about it. But I'm continuing on with the whole refined element of the sequel. The controls have changed a bit too. I found it a bit weird adjusting to it first, and had to play the demo at least 2 times to get used to them, because I was so used to the original Dead Space 1's controls, but they feel right at home now. LB is your sprint, which I think is L1 on the PlayStation. I'm not too familiar with the PlayStation 3's controls, so I'm going to have to do with the Xbox ones, so please bear with me. X is your reload, which I think is square, and A, which is X, on the PlayStation. It doesn't play as much of a big role in this game anymore, in my opinion. Before you would have to hold the left trigger and hold A to sprint, but now it's just LB. It's just simpler and works better for the game's pace. I don't know what it was in Dead Space, but it never really scared me or made me jump or anything like that. I just kind of laughed at it. But when playing this demo, it seemed more apparent, and the developers are trying a lot harder here. There's not, where you had the body laying on the floor, you get near it and it jumps and it's meant to scare you, and it's just kind of crappy, if I'm just being frank. And yes, the enemies do jump out of windows, but here you kind of see them come out of test tubes or whatever. But what's fantastic about that is that you have no indication as to where they're going to come out, which one they're going to come out. It's just too blurry and risky. So they pretty much pop out at random, which is awesome, and actually makes you jump. The cliche moments are still there, but this is a demo after all, and I'm not bashing or basing or predicting the whole game. But like most demos, they're meant to give you an indication as to what the full game will be like, and this is definitely a good response, in my opinion. So it'll freak you out for sure, and it might make you jump, but just don't hide under the couch or something, because it's not that scary, to be honest. Okay, so in the demo, you get 4 different types of weapons. You get the trusted plasma cutter, which is awesome as ever. There's some kind of crossbow gun. Oh, I remember it now. It's called the line gun. It's basically it shoots a massive wide line of plasma, which is really deadly and cuts enemies in half. The third weapon is basically a machine gun, and the last one is kind of a detonating gun launcher thing. I have no idea, but it's crazy, and I think it's a really welcoming addition. You probably saw earlier me firing it into a necromorph and just see it hurl towards the wall. Oh, now I think it's more like a harpoon. Yeah, it's more like a harpoon gun. So I'm just going to call it the harpoon gun now. Kind of fires these like arrow type things. But what I like about the weapons is that the secondaries seem more useful now, or the secondary option. Before, the plasma kind of had this like spiral turret thing, which was bullshit in my eyes. I'm sorry if anyone enjoyed that, but I just thought it crap. Now you got this grenade launcher thing, which is really helpful. And it seems more powerful as well. I'm not sure if the guns are upgraded in this demo. They probably are, but if they're not, then they just seem more useful. And they have their own suited occasions. So the plasma gun is good for those one-on-one occasions. The line gun's more for a huge crowd of enemies. Harpoon guns were kind of a laugh, and the machine guns you just want to ram lead or plasma rather into these necromorph bastards. Just and stuff like that. It's really great, really awesome. So aside from better weapons, better scary moments, and better controls, probably better story, Dead Space 2 does offer more, and it's making me want to purchase it. I'm just not sure though. The whole atmosphere thing is still there. It's awesome. The sound is one of the biggest aspects of Dead Space, and it still maintains it here. I would say it's up there with like some Battlefield Bad Company sound design and more. It's well done, it's creepy, and as it should be. Another thing I like about this demo is the introduction of puzzles. There's a puzzle in this game which is a little annoying, and I do make it look easy, but I did try this three times when I recorded this, and it can be tricky at first, but that's kind of how it should be. It's a puzzle after all. But it's nice to see puzzles come into the Dead Space franchise. I guess one of the last things I'll say about this demo is the whole platforming thing. And I'm not comparing this demo with Dead Space 1 as much as I would like to, but it is the prequel and this is the sequel, so it kind of makes sense. I guess I could compare it with Resident Evil 4. There's loads of similarities, like the over-shoulder viewpoint and the way it scares you and stuff like that, and there's the whole like Dead Space Resident Evil debate. But I kind of want that to stop, and I feel they're both great franchises in their own right. And I know I'm going off in a tangent here, but that's just how I feel. And I just want to clarify, that's not what I'm about. So, with the platforming, it never really was a big aspect in my mind with Dead Space. It just but it breaks up the pace nicely. So, before you would have to leap to walls and stuff, but now you have anti-gravity boots, which lets you hover, which is great fun. There's no more that leaping, which was really annoying, but you never know, like, because Isaac's suit now is upgraded, he's got more options, he's got more gadgets and stuff like that. You never know, you might have a Metroid moment where all the upgrades get taken at the beginning or the end and you have to acquire them again, which would suck. But I think that those gravity parts are a lot better now, so I hope they keep it this way. And I'm not sure really what else to say, really. I shouldn't judge a game on its demo, but from what it seems, Dead Space 2 is pretty much Dead Space 1, but improved in every single way. It's like, how can I put it? It's like a cake, which is awesome. Like, let's say sponge cake, and you put icing on it just to make it more awesome. It's just so sweet. I can't wait until this game is released, and I'm more than likely to give this a go, and you guys should too. It's definitely a lot of fun. So if you're interested in seeing a Dead Space 2 videos from me, I know I sound a bit monotone in this commentary, but Dead Space 2's giving me the shivers. Nah, it hasn't really. But if you want to see more videos on Dead Space 2, like a walkthrough or something like that, please come to my channel and subscribe. That gives me the determination to do so. I know that kind of sounds a bit gay, but you know. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Try out the demo. It is a lot of fun. There's a few scares here and there, but make sure you don't hide behind the couch. There really is no need to. I do a variety of videos on my channel, by the way, not just commentaries. I like to have diversity, and you know, people get sick of COD. I'm not saying COD is a bad series. I like COD, but sometimes seeing Call of Duty is just blur, and you want something else. And I'm willing to provide something different. So if you're willing to help me out, I'll bring loads more videos. So yeah, this has been MrMightyMcD, or Ryan. You can call me whatever. I hope you have a good day, and you take care of yourself. Thank you for watching. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Dead Space 2 looks crazy, really good in HD. So make sure you check it out. I'll see you guys later. And yeah, take care.